Hi guys! So today is just a single nail design with the start of some of the Christmas designs, and it is this cute little present. I was just practicing a few random designs to put inside my design book, and I like this one, so I thought I would share. So you're going to need whatever colour background. Mine is a nude, you could use a white, anything you want. You're going to need a red, and these are all gel polishes. You are going to need a gold, and one with thinner particles, kind of like this, will probably get you further. I used this one. It has quite chunky pigments, but I like it because it's a flash one, so it gives me that extra brightness. So you're going to need those two. That one. You are going to want a top coat, and when I figure out where on my shelf I put it, a tiny bit of black just for your shading. Yep, so that is what you are wanting for this. So we'll just start with a nice base layer. So I always use a nude. So if clients are, for like my designs in my design book. So if clients are having nude hard gel, nude polygel, nude acrylic, nude builder, whichever, they can see what the design would look like on top of that. An easier way would probably be to do some of the designs actually on clear nails, and then they can just pop them over whatever colour they're having. I just want that to level out a little more. So we'll pop that into cure. I haven't got very far with it, but I got one of these 216 colour card things from definitely this one was off AliExpress a long while ago. But I started filling it out with designs. They're not in a particular order, they're kind of a jumble, to be honest. But I'm hoping to fill a lot of it and then put it into sections. And then I can give that to clients to look at so they can choose their design they're having. Okie dokie, so that is cured. So I am just going to remove the tacky layer. This is just so everything stays where it's put and nothing goes off on a runner, because we don't want no runners. Okay, so next up we are taking our glitters. Good tip, if you only have a chunky one, if you really want to use the chunky one, but you have a fine one as well, you can always do a layer of the fine and then put your chunky over the top, because that fills any gaps. So if you're doing, it works with acrylic especially. If you're doing an acrylic design, you put a contrasting colour or a contrasting glitter underneath, and then you put your chunky over the top, and then the gaps in your chunky are filled by your little thins, and it just makes life a lot easier. So we are painting a square. And I'm just going to pop a blob of colour there, because then I'm going to use my brush to pull it out for the lid. Obviously, because I have chosen a chunky glitter, I need to faff around a little bit to get it to fill in all the patches. So I just move the glitter particles to where I want them and lay them out flat. So while that's curing, I'm just going to pop a bit of my red. So I am using Love by Nail and Beauty Excellence. This is a darker red. It's just personal preference. There is a nice brighter one they do called Pillar Box. In fact, I have quite a few reds by different companies, some of which have come in the nail mail box. So any red is fine. Realistically, if you only have gel paint, you could actually use gel paint. That is not a problem. And then I'm putting on a blob of top coat. And a blob of black. And in that black, I'm going to dot like the tiniest corner and then mix in just until I get the shadow shade that I want. So this is going to be your shadowing along the edges of the box and the ribbons. I think I'm about happy with that one. You could also mix a gel paint into that. You definitely need way less gel paint. So, removing the tacky layer again. This just stops any sliding around. I always like to make sure I remove all of the tacky layers when I am using the gel polish. Let me just pop that nail right in front of me so I can see what I did. So, we're taking our red and we're going to pull down for our ribbon. Your ribbon can be as thick and wide or realistically as skinny as you want it. I'm just going to widen mine out a little bit. Now you can see some of the glitter through, so you have the option if you want it of going back in with the second coat. So we're going to need a blob up here for the middle of our bow. And I think I actually did this bit with not a fine liner. I think I actually used one of the universal bowen brushes that I have from Temu. So we're going to fill that in. I kind of want to just pull them up a bit. I want it to be quite a big bow. Yeah, I'll pull that one up as well. And then when you're happy with it, pop it in the lamp. Okay, so same again. We are removing any inhibition layer. Get rid of all that extraness. It also stops any smudging when applying your top coat. So I just load and twist my brush to get it to that nice little point. So I'm doing this with the gel polish. So now we're going to outline everything and then we will do the shading afterwards. So just nice thin lines with just not a lot of pressure on the brush. If you find it is your black gel polish isn't quite as pigmented, you can switch to a gel paint, or you can mix a bit of gel paint in with it. For my other one, I did actually use gel paint, not gel polish, for the outline, because that is sheer habit. I think I might grab some. Okay. You just want to outline all around the bows. Do it in steps if it makes you feel more comfortable. That is completely fine. And then I'm just putting a little notch in where the crease of the ribbon would be, because I'm going to add shading into that, and then we're going to cure. Okie dokie, so this is what we have so far. Very cute by itself. We're going to add a few more details to it. So we want to shade underneath the lid. So with the mix of top coat or base coat and black, we're going to add a little shading underneath there. A little touch darker for that, I think. So while it doesn't always look a lot or dark enough when you're doing it, the top coat over it can honestly make all the difference. I'm going to go down the sides of the ribbons as if they're like a little loose on there. You want to come under the ribbons as well, under the bows at the top. They're a little shadowy there because they're poofy. In the outside creases of your knot, and in your dips, because this is where your ribbon bows out. Do you see how you can see it so much better on the red than you can on the gold? That just proves that it is actually there. The gold just kind of stops you from seeing it. Now you can remove the polish from your brush and you can tap it and blend it out a little if you want, so you don't have a solid line, or you can leave it entirely as it is. And one more little one just underneath the knot, which I almost forgot about. And then you want to pop that into cure. Okay, and then you just need your top coat. So you have the option of either matte or shiny. I think, quite frankly, both would have quite a nice effect. The choice is entirely yours. I am using a shiny because it's what I used before. And there we have it. Our finished little Christmas present. Doesn't have to be gold, doesn't have to be red. Completely versatile. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you give it a try and look out for more Christmas designs. I am going to do a mix of full sets and single nails this year. So I hope you enjoy. Bye.